Burnett and Blackman.
We live, bro.
Da, 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 da. We are live, baby. Keith, what up? Can you hear me?
What up, man? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, I can hear you. I can hear you, baby.
Hold on. Okay.
Let's make sure we good, you know? Hey.
Yeah.
Yo, what up, Keith? What up, people?
What up? What up?
Well, we on that beat with Keith and Bernie. Let's go. Hey. Yo, crazy week, man. Crazy week. You good? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
You can't.
What's
okay,
up?
just making sure. You know, when you're live, man, you know, you got to do your mic checks, man. But then you get live, and then it's like you're doing your mic checks all over again. You know what I mean?
Now I done lost you on the screen. Am I in Chrome? Yeah, we good.
I can see you, man. I can see you.
Excuse me.
Well, yeah, man. Hey, what's going on? Talk to me.
Not much, man. Another week. I would say it's good to be an Aggie, but we see what happened to the Aggies this weekend.
Hey, man, you know, I kind of just directed my attention to the Miami Hurricanes. Shout out to Miami Hurricanes, you know what I'm saying? But nah, man, all jokes aside, I mean, look, it's Aggie pride no matter what.
That was an ass kicking.
I think it was worse because of who it was from. I think the opponent made it hurt a little bit.
Made it ugly.
Yeah, it was horrible, man. I know the coach was like, man, that's the worst thing he's ever been a part of. Most embarrassing
thing he's been a part of in football.
Yeah, he said in life. You know, so I mean, I can't even call it secondhand embarrassment because I mean, look, we're Aggies, so I mean, it's like, I mean, we're all a representation of that. So, but I mean,
I streamed that thing from the crib. I turned that thing off at halftime.
Yeah,
it looked like men playing against boys.
It was bad, man. Yeah, it was bad. Like I said, I grew up with a Miami Hurricanes fandom, so I kind of shifted my attention to the Hurricanes.
Right.
Apologies to my alma mater, man, but man, it was brutal to watch, man. It was almost as brutal. It was about as brutal as watching the Dallas Cowboys defense. You know what I mean?
Was it that brutal, man? You had a hell of a weekend, didn't you?
Like I said, I had to direct my attention to the Miami Hurricanes. And of course, you know I'm a glam fan, so I'm also a New York Yankees fan. So New York Yankees clinched the playoff berth. So, you know, I just had to take my attention to other things, other sports, you know. But yeah, man, it's been dare I say therapeutic.
How's it been therapeutic?
Therapeutic meaning, you know, I need sports therapy, you know, right. Watching, you know, especially that Cowboys defense, man. I got a whole soliloquy to go on about that Dallas defense. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna talk about what else we talking about, Keith. We're gonna talk about these Ravens, the Ravens getting the smack of down laid on them by the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, we're gonna talk all that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we got some things to cover, man. What else? We're gonna talk about, we want to talk about the Eagles too, man. I mean, you know, are they inevitable, or are we seeing more threats to the throne? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then we're also gonna talk about this very interesting AFC. It seems like it's being, you know, I mean, it's still early, but it seems like things are being shuffled a little bit over there.
The AFC's cool. We'll get into it when he gets here, but I also want to get into the Ravens and Chiefs. But I don't think Philly's inevitable. I told you in confidence that I thought that I mean, for one, y'all played them very tough the first game, like a division opponent, but
Mm-hmm.
they didn't just go up and down the field against you guys. I just feel like um, I feel like they're beatable. I mean, they started letting Jalen throw the ball once they got down a lot to the Rams, but that game was a winnable game for the Rams. They should have beaten. They should have beaten Philly, in my opinion. So
They let
I
it slip
think
away.
they did very bad. So um, I just think I don't think any team is inevitable. It used to be Kansas City was inevitable, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even think they're inevitable anymore. So
Well, well, to that point, I think that's where that comes into play. Are they like are they when you look at them? Um, the talk around them is it seems like no matter what they seem to be, you're thinking to yourself they're probably going to find a way to win the game. Especially after seeing that matchup with the Rams being a formidable NFC opponent. So you're kind of looking at it like, okay, are they that team now? Are they what the Chiefs were? When you were watching the Chiefs, you know what I mean? Are they what the Patriots were? I mean, that's an early comparison. You know what I mean? A dynasty. Those are both dynasty level teams. But you know, when we look at Philly, they don't play a. It seems like they kind of go with whatever the trend is. You know, for the day. Are we doing the radio feedback thing again? Yeah.
yeah,
So it seems like they go with whatever the opponent presents them. You know what I mean? It's like if it's like for example when they played Dallas, you mentioned that Dallas pretty much shut down their passing attack. You know what I mean? And they for the most part held their run at bay. But so to counter that, I mean Jalen Hurts was running all over the place. You know what I mean? And it worked.
right.
They'll have a game where they focus. They lock in on a rushing, and then this past game we saw them more AJ Brown being more involved. So it's one of those things, man. You just you don't it just seems like I think when people say they're inevitable, it just seems like whatever opponent they go up against, they seem to lock into whatever brand of football they need to.
Let's see, CP trying to get in.
What's up?
CP's trying to get on.
Oh, CP's jumping on with us, man. We need to bring CP in here.
Mm-hmm.
Get some of that that Michigan energy in here, man. We're gonna talk about the Lions. But yeah, we'll get them in. But yeah, I mean, you feel where I'm coming from, Keith?
I do. I
Yeah.
do.
But man, tell us what y'all think, man. What do y'all think about Philly? Do y'all think Philly still, you know, does it seem like they're still on another collision course in the NFC Championship, one of these top contenders, or does it look inevitable that they're going to find a way to make it to the Super Bowl again? Look, y'all let us know. Hit us in the comments. We want to know what you think.
They're commenting on Facebook, but I can't. I haven't figured out how to get the StreamYard to go with the Facebook.
I can see it. I can see their comments.
Yeah.
But I see yeah, Buzzy said Barkley's not going to stay quiet long. I mean, you can't contain him for so long, right?
He said, "Who's not going to stay quiet?"
He said Barkley's not going to stay quiet long.
Uh, you would think that, right?
I mean, yeah, he's bound to have a breakout,
Oh, I can see him. There you go. What up, dog? How you? What's up, little bro? What's good? Okay. Barkley not going to stay quiet long. I don't know, man. Last year, I just felt like he was running all over the place. I don't really see that this year. Now, maybe teams are gearing up for him more, and I don't think that I don't think their offense has been diverse enough. Do they got a new OC? Like they
They got
not
it.
passing the ball at all.
Yeah, they got a new OC. Kellen Moore was their OC last year. He's
Oh
the head.
yeah,
He's the head coach of New Orleans now.
in New Orleans. Yeah, they not
Mm-hmm.
passing the rock at all. I mean, they did to get back in the game, but
Mm-hmm.
other than that, I feel like that's one of the reasons that Saquon's not getting off. There's no diversity in that offense. And
Well,
so
you see them doing what they need to. It seems like they do whatever they need to do to win the game. You know what I mean?
right.
I don't know if they seemed like they were on snooze or cruise control throughout that Rams game, and then they just turned it on. You know what I mean? I mean, they still could have lost that game. Blocked field goals aren't necessarily a
Something you
reliable.
can count on.
Right. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's not a reliable strategy, even though it was well coached and well schemed by the I don't know Philly special teams coordinator. I don't know who's their special teams coordinator this year.
I don't
But
either.
but anyway, it was very well schemed, by putting your two biggest DTs in the middle and having them jump up, hands up. I mean, that's what you do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Jordan Davis had a huge play of blocking it and running it in for the touchdown.
That was crazy.
It was.
I was just looking on the Jordan. I was like, how they go from 26 to 30? What? And then I saw that block punt. He ran it. He didn't even need to run it in for a touchdown.
He didn't. He could have just. The game was over when it was blocked. when the field goal was blocked. But I mean, it made for a great highlight. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
it was a great moment for him. And for their fans. But I feel like Jalen Hurts he's doing whatever's asked of him, and he's finding a way to give his team the best chance to win. I've been vocal about him being underrated. I wasn't too thrilled about him being ranked number 9 out of the top 10. We went through the people he should have been ahead of. I don't know if we rethink that at this point, but
who we think?
Yep. Hey man, hey, I guess we know where he parked his car. You know what I'm saying? I guess
There
we know
it
where he
is.
parked. Hey, welcome to the Unbeaten. Okay.
Okay.
I like the hat. Let me see the hat.
Oh, this little old hat? Oh, I just happened to have it on.
Oh man, that's fresh though.
This is the draft hat from probably 10 years ago, I think.
So how did that vengeance feel, CP?
I did not see it coming. I saw the Ravens on the schedule and I was like, my whole goal was like, as long as we don't get blown out like we did last time, because last year or 2 years ago, it was in Baltimore. It was a 1:00 game, and I think by 1:15, I was like,
I remember.
I was like, we're good here, and it just kept going. So
the only reason I remember that is because the Lions ruined my parlay that day. I had them covering.
Yeah. They didn't cover anything. They didn't even cover the cost of travel. It was terrible. But once we went down and drove on that first drive, I was like, okay, it's a different game today. I don't know how it's going to end, but it's a different game. And then Derrick Henry, ran in for about 28 yards or whatnot. I was like, okay, this might be the same game, but at least we look better. And then, it kept happening. I was on an airplane too, so I'm watching it, and I'm in the seat watching it on my phone like this, and it kept skipping, and we hit turbulence, and I had to start over. And I think that second touchdown the Ravens had, I think it had stopped on like third down, and then by the time I got it going again, the score had changed. So I was just like, I was going back and forth, but then we started to pick it up, man. I was excited to see it because, everybody wrote the Lions off after the Green Bay loss. And then,
right.
We don't really count last week just because of the difference in ability. I mean, yeah, we wanted to make sure we showed up Ben Johnson, but, that game should have been in the bag, and it was. So this was like, all right, this is going to be a true test of, who we are this season. I don't think we're going 15-2 or anything like that, but I think we're at least going to learn how to play together and play pretty well. And we really needed a lot of that out of the offensive line since we lost our guys this year. So I was excited to see it happen.
What is your thoughts on the NFC this year?
I think it's gonna be tough for the Lions to win the North. We already dropped one game. Depending on who's the quarterback from Minnesota, we'll either get one or two. Hopefully, we'll get Green Bay. I think we play them Thanksgiving. So if we lose one of those games, I'd at least like to come out 4-2. I think, yeah, I think the West is still going to be kind of up and down like it's been because San Francisco's 3-0 already, and the Rams just dropped an easy one. Well, the one they had in the bag, rather. Right. Seattle, we don't know what's going to happen there. So I could see at least either the 49ers or the Rams getting that one. The East is the Eagles. And then the South, they're not there yet. So it's whoever has the most wins. Probably the Bucks.
Yeah,
so it looks like it's going to be familiar people. I don't think there's going to be anybody new, relatively new from the last couple of years that's going to get in there from the NFC. I think the Bucks are probably scarier this year than they were. So they could sneak somebody. Yeah, so I don't know who comes out of that. I don't see a big favorite. You probably have to go with Philly just because they've done it recently. But even that's just kind of following some logic. It's not really a vote you really, really believe in.
I don't really feel like there's to your point, I guess you would have to say Philly. They're 3-0 coming off the Super Bowl win. Yeah. But I don't look at any team like I really think this is an any given Sunday type of season. For us, I'm optimistic only because the schedule looks like it's very manageable. Even losing Bosa, that's going to hurt. But if we can tread water till we get 3 of our guys back, I feel like our schedule is ready. We got Jacksonville, then we got Houston. Which Houston is a game at the beginning of the year I thought was going to be one of the tough games.
No, that's going to be a cakewalk now.
I don't think we have a cakewalk. I think right now all our games with McCorkle Jones are going to be 16, 15, 26. We don't have any cakewalk. We can lose the next 3 just as quick as we won the first 3. So.
Yeah, because you also have to plan for McCaffrey going out.
Yes.
Always have to account for that.
Yeah.
And the thing that pisses me off, you see what Jordan Mason's doing in Minnesota?
Yes. Yes, I do.
I don't.
Yes, I do.
I don't. What did we trade him for? I don't. Especially because we have McCaffrey,
right?
29, going on 39. So
yeah.
So hey, CP, before I want to get back to the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think? Like when you saw them play in that opener against the Packers,
mm-hmm.
What are you seeing different now in terms of their physicality and how they're because they dominated that Ravens defense.
Yeah,
even though the Ravens are ranked last in most statistical categories right now, even below the Dallas Cowboys, believe it or not. But of course, opponent factors into that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what do you see the major difference or that leap forward they made from that first week loss to now?
I just feel like we came out like it was another preseason game, and to open the season in Green Bay is, I don't know if we've ever won to open the season. I mean, we barely win in Green Bay anyway, save except the last 2-3 years when we started to get hot. But that used to be the last game of the season. I think the 0-16 year was the last game of the season. It's historically been one of those mood killer. And usually we play them when it's really cold and they just walk all over us, or they sneak one out. But to open the season, that's a tough one. I mean, last year we opened it against Stafford at home at night. And so, you had that chance to build up and come out strong. And, we struggled at home last year, so we wanted to make sure that we have a little more energy for it this time. So to start the season in Green Bay and, 2-3 days before they get Micah Parsons, who we didn't scheme for. As you could see, Jared Goff scrambling. I just I think with the new linemen, with the first game for all the new coordinators and whatnot, I think it was just a perfect storm of everything being brand new, and it really felt like we were still in preseason mode, and they walked all over us. I think it was good on the schedule to come back against the Bears the next week and really kind of get our ducks in a row. And then both of those things happening built us up to play the Ravens like we did. I think if we had just a quote unquote regular schedule, and maybe we win the first 2 games, I think this Ravens game might turn into one of the ones from last year where we got blown out. So I think it was a perfect storm of just they weren't used to being this version of this team. And now that we are, we can really kind of figure out, okay, who are we? If for some reason we screw up and lose to the Browns, we'll at least be 2-2 going into its second quarter of the season. And that's going to be a lot better than, the 1-3s or sitting in trouble. So we got an ugly one out of the way. We've got a good one out of the way, and then we did what we were supposed to do. So we're really starting to, make that change. I think if we can put together one quarter where we go 4-0, or with 17 games, one quarter where we go 5-0, I think that's going to really help us. And so stumbling out the gate is probably going to be more beneficial than coming out hot.
No, absolutely, man. So let me get that. You got that comment up there? Oh yeah. I'm glad he brought that up. Buzzy said the Browns defense is scary.
True.
It depends. I mean, so the reason, this is my theory, and maybe I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Schwartz is like damn near undefeated against those Shanahan offenses.
Mm-hmm.
And so, last year or year before when we were undefeated, it kind of slowed us down. And so LaFleur runs a version of Kyle's offense of the Shanahan. And I just think Schwartz has, not to say the Browns defense is scary, but he does well against all the Shanahan variations per se. Which I was surprised they still only gave up 10 points to Green Bay. So, I mean, did you guys see the Myles Garrett clip from the offensive lineman?
No, I didn't.
He beat the offensive lineman so bad that the offensive lineman turned around and said, "Jordan, run."
He said he's coming. He said he's coming. I mean, I get that. That makes sense. But also, yes, while that's going to be painful, one of the ways that we got through Baltimore's defense was to kind of run the clock out. And if you can just nickel and dime and not go for so many trick plays or so many huge plays, then we might be able to at least tire some of the defense out. And yes, he's going to get there. You kind of have to think in terms of, I hope he doesn't get us, and then really transfer that into, we know he's going to get there. What do we do, once he's there, or how do we react to once he's there? And then I think we'll be able to put a few points on the board. We're very good this year at being a little bit more methodical. I think we had really high highs last year, but then if you watch the whole game like a fan does, you could see like quarters where we just went dead, like whole 15-minute blocks where we weren't doing anything, and we were kind of setting ourselves up for the big chunk plays or the trick plays. And that's how Buffalo, won us in that shootout, because we had these just lulls where we weren't doing anything with the ball. And you could see that in pretty much every game short of a couple of the blowouts like Dallas and one of those Chicago games was close. The Thanksgiving game against Chicago might have been close. I think they tried to come back on us at the end. So there was those times where you almost get up there and you start to get to your cruising altitude, or you take your foot off the gas. And I don't know how much of that was Ben Johnson. I don't know how much of that is, if we're running 90 plays a day, we've got like 15 that we're really, really confident in. So we're going to try to spread those out. I think if that's the mode, this year's offense probably has twice as many. So they're able to kind of keep the chains moving even when we're not doing huge things. But ultimately, a lot of this falls on Jared Goff, because he's still Jared Goff. And what we don't want to happen is for him to show back up, Rams Jared show back up at the wrong time.
I love Rams Jared.
I don't.
I bet you do, Keith. You probably miss him.
Right. I do miss him. Stafford is hell out there sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to show up. Hopefully not for an entire game, but he's going to show up. And so we want him to show up. Maybe we want him to show up against Cleveland because we feel like we might be able to claw back. But we can't have him show up on this second Green Bay game. We can't have him show up against any like contenders. And obviously, we want to get all the Rams Jared out of our system by the time the playoffs come. Because if we play Baker and them this year, it's not going to go the same way if Rams Jared shows up. Or if we run into Washington again. I mean, you saw how that went. We had that in the bag, and then Jaden Daniels was like, "Oh, I'm here." So. It's not gonna be enough.
I was gonna say who's right. You need at least 2 more. But no, I think
I found the clip if y'all want to see it.
Yeah, man, throw it up.
All right, hold on. Share screen.
Myles Garrett absolutely blew by the tackle, who couldn't do anything except hilariously yell at his quarterback to get out of there as quickly as possible.
I beat him on the cleanest inside.
Hey, I mean, at least he tried to look out for his quarterback since he couldn't block for him. It's not like he was just saying like, "Oh, whoops."
Jordan run.
You couldn't block for him. If you couldn't block for him, just warn him, man. Speak up for him.
Yeah, hey, it's coming. Duck.
Verbal protection.
Throw the ball away. I mean, but the funny thing is, that's exactly the same thing we yelling, at the screen.
Yep.
He's coming. Oh my God. I know I hear Jared Goff pretty much 20 times a game. Throw the ball, Jared. Throw the
ball. What is your thoughts and what you think about y'all coordinators? I know y'all got 2 new coordinators this year. How confident are you in those guys?
Here's what I truly think. I think because we did so well last year, people started like paying more attention to the coordinators. Everybody knows a couple of them, but like the coordinators didn't get that much shine until, they started to make moves and they attributed everything to them. And once that happens, that they're gone. But like good programs that we've seen, if you're building up like your understudies or your assistants, then you still have some momentum left. And now it's another, person's turn to kind of carry some of those same things that they learned and make it happen. So while they're new, most of them have still had some experience on the team in the last couple of years. We brought back a couple of retreads from a few years ago. So like we got new faces, but they're not like brand new people, which helps because that helps get the buy-in. And plus now, players want to win. So it's not like they want to, test it out and they have room to spare and they don't have L's to give up. Like, oh, let me really see if he can help me. It's like, hey, we were really close. I want to keep that going. So with that, I think they're locked in. I think we'll just have to see how it goes. I think 3 games is too early to tell if our coordinators are really, really good. Because I think just like it's 3 games is too early to tell, how good Ben Johnson is doing or what's called Aaron Glenn.
Right.
So.
Well, we know Aaron Glenn can dance.
Yeah, and they still lost.
Best coach celebration ever.
That's why I was lying, and they still lost. But I think there's room to have more personality, and I think it helps you out in the locker room. But I think we're too easy to give them credit or take away credit based off of it's 17 games, so to go up and down like that is exhausting.
Right. Right.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it shakes up. Maybe halfway through the season, or if we just do, an end of the year review, we'll really see how we did with the coordinators. But to go week to week is almost not fair.
That's true. Did y'all see Baker jab Steve Wilkes?
Yeah.
That Baker jab Steve Wilkes.
Yes.
Yeah. Nah. Why he do y'all brother like that?
I missed that.
They beat the Jets. And so after the Jets game, I guess in the interview, he said he took pleasure in beating the defensive coordinator who cut him in Carolina.
Yep. I mean, the Jets are an easy target, though, because, I mean, you saw Aaron Rodgers say, he was happy to beat anything associated with the Jets, too.
Yeah. Understandably so.
So it would balance the AFC North if you get
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
We play Cleveland this week.
Play the whole AFC North this year.
Yeah, we play Cleveland this Sunday.
So you got Cleveland, Cincinnati.
Yeah,
already beat Baltimore, and then you'll have Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
that division looks a lot easier than what it has been the last few years.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers, we struggled with him for many years, and he was a jerk. That's where he perfected all that those hard counts to draw us offside and get the continuation and throw. I would rather not see him. Hopefully he's hurt or benched by then. Obviously the Bengals are a shell of who they are, so I don't know who they got throwing, but we'll just put bodies on Chase and we'll see what happens.
Well, speaking of all quarterback bench, what we think about Russell Wilson?
I think Russ had to see it was coming. They wanted that Jackson Dart thing to happen. So the fact that we've seen 3 games, I think that if Jackson Dart was more ready right away, then Russ would have started as the backup. But I think it was always Dart's position to have. Russ just came out a little bit hot and played a little bit decently.
Did he play hot or did he play the Cowboys?
I think it's a victim of circumstance or prisoner of the moment. Like I said, we go week to week. So I think with those he had some good flashes, so you can't bench him right then. But as soon as it went downhill, it's already time to give the kid a chance. And we don't know if the kid is going to be good or not. It could bounce back to Russ by week 8.
Yeah, throwing the ball against the goalpost on 4th down will get you benched.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's a infielder, so he sailed it.
I have no problem with Russell Wilson not doing well. Whooped our ass so much in Seattle.
You and your NFC West quarterback grudges, man. Let him.
I don't have a grudge against Jared Goff. Russell Wilson pummeled us for damn near a decade.
Well, there's that.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I have no issue. Look, I know people don't like the way Sean Payton did him in Denver, but it's shown to be right. He hasn't played well since he left Seattle.
Which is true, but I think those are 2 separate arguments. I think you use, and honestly, that's a corporate America thing right there too. But I think that you cannot play well or be on your descent and also still run into a bad situation. And I think he did both. And to highlight one discredits the other. So if we talk about how bad the relationship was, the easy argument is, well, he wasn't playing well. True, but there was no chance for him to succeed or do any better in that system. And so, I mean, he was stuck, to be honest. And I think you have to at least give him credit for keeping his head held high, knowing that, he was being set up to fail. And, it would have been helpful for him if he could have still found a way to try to do some things. But, when you're in a bad situation, you're in a bad situation.
Well, at least he got one last big payday out of that situation.
I mean, that's a nice silver lining with a golden parachute.
But Don't surprise me. What you got here? Cowboys caught a quick strike.
They can catch some bigger ones too if they need to.
There are going to be a lot of them caught.
That's going to be like Battleship. You sunk C4.
Hey, my man Bomani Jones called the Cowboys. What did he call them today?
He said, "What did he
the
say?
Make-A-Wish, the Make-A-Wish defense.
Yeah, like the Make-A-Wish Foundation."
I did see that. That was funny.
It's like I can't even be mad, man. It's just like, I mean, it's the reality of the situation. You know,
it's one of those things. Until you're willing to change, the things that you need to, you're going to be stuck with some of the things you got.
Absolutely. And to that point, if we want to segue to that,
I kind of disagree with that, Buzzy. I don't think Russ wants to be a backup. This might be Russ's last stop, if you ask me.
Should be.
Yeah. I mean, who could use him right now? The Bengals probably could use him right now.
You think so?
But that's only because Burrow got hurt.
Because Burrow was hurt. His backup is what's that guy's name? He was all right the last time we saw him, but like this year, he's
Browning.
Yeah,
he had a good week or two last year.
Yeah, he was horrible last week.
But the hard part is with the backups, they're trying to get things going, but they also got to support the money. So you have to throw it to Chase, and you have to get these guys open, and it becomes a little more obvious, which makes it a struggle for them. Your starters have the ability to kind of mix it up and still feed the money, sometimes more than not. But when you have the backup in, it's kind of like, all right, I got to get in here, I got to move the ball, and I got to give it to Chase, and then you end up throwing pick sixes.
Damn, you kind of cocky over there, Portia.
Damn Eagles fans, man. I swear.
She thought the NFC was going to be scarier. They got it easy. Who do you think is actual threat to the Eagles?
Probably the Eagles themselves. I think they're going to have a year like the Chiefs did where they sneak through a lot of victories that shouldn't happen. And we're going to be in that balance of, do we give them credit or do we just say they didn't lose completely? So I think they've got a couple of wins on their schedule. Like, I don't see I see Washington maybe trying to get a win from them, but I think that's a 5-1 in the division. I don't know what other divisions they play this year, but I think
they've already played one. They played Kansas City.
Yeah, they played the NFC North.
They played North.
Yeah, they played the NFC East plays the NFC North.
Oh, so they got to play us.
Yep.
So
they got to play y'all. They got to play Green Bay.
Yeah. So they're not going to go undefeated against the North, whether it's us or the Packers. Somebody will get them. Hopefully us. But I think that they're going to get to the playoffs. That's not they'll probably win the division. If something happens and half the team gets hurt, they'll at least be a wild card. They'll limp into that. But they're going to win the division. So to follow them week to week is almost going to be pointless. Let's see how they match up, with their seed, if they're going to be a number one seed or if they're going to have to go through a wild card team. And then we'll see, if they're beaten up from all those, field goal victories or, last second blocks and all those things. Let's see if those kind of, change the tone for where we're at with them.
What are you trying to say there, Portia? All right, Vikings up first. Do you think McCarthy is really hurt, or do you think O'Connell is like, let's slow down on this JJ McCarthy business a little bit, and we're gonna ride this Carson Wentz wave?
I think he's probably hurt, but I think they're not rushing him to get back.
Do you trust the Carson Wentz wave? We've seen this story before in his other stops. You know what I mean? He'll have like a few flashes, and then eventually he'll show you who he really is. So how much do we really trust that? Or is he a better option than JJ?
I don't like either of them as the main option. Maybe just, being a Michigan homer, I want to see JJ do well.
Right.
But my main concern is they're wasting those running backs' time. I know Justin Jefferson's got to be pissed. So those are the things I think about. I think they lost some speed on defense. I think they've got a few gaps.
I was going to say, and his fantasy owners.
Yeah, that's
I'm one of them.
That's the thing, man. Everybody wants to get, but you got to let him play all 17 games because he's gonna have a period where, he's gonna get 30 yards here, 40 yards here, maybe a touchdown, and then he's gonna have 200 here, 150 here, 125 here, a 3 touchdown night. It's gonna be all the above. So he'll make sure it works out for you in the end, but it's not gonna be linear. It's not just going to be a straight line.
I actually like O'Connell as a coach a lot. Comes from Sean McVay tree. I think he can get more out because I like the offense of pieces around Minnesota. I like the tight end. I like Jefferson. I like Jordan Mason.
You talking about Hawkinson?
Hawkinson?
Yeah. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
I think he's got potential. Obviously, he was with us before. I think he's got good stuff, but I think he comes and goes in spurts.
I mean, of course, you like Laporta more, right?
Yeah, I do, but also, I think Hawkinson had times where he would disappear, and he even disappeared on Minnesota a couple of times. So, and if you've got Wentz, I don't know if he, looks at him a lot, or is that that bailout third down.
Hey, scored a touchdown for my fantasy team over the weekend.
Well, if we're just going by how he can help Keith's fantasy team, then
yeah.
But I like Jordan Addison too.
Yeah, I do too.
When he comes back from suspension, so
I hope they review and suspend him for longer.
For longer, because that was weird last year. Y'all went 15-2, and they went 14-3, right? It's tough. You go 14-3 and don't win your division.
Yeah, well, 2 of the 3 were to us. So and they were the team last year that snuck by. They were winning by field goals left and right.
And I feel like they had a pretty favorable schedule too.
They had it was the same schedule we had, but they also, Sam Darnold didn't mess it up until he messed it up.
He came through right when he was supposed to.
Yeah. And then that juice ran out right at the end.
Hey, had me thinking for 13 games, man, maybe we should have kept Sam Darnold.
Nah.
And the Lions,
Sam Darnold showed up.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions were overachieving last year. You guys filled up the injury report.
Yeah, to do all that with the amount of injuries we had, it was kind of remarkable. We should be a little bit more healthy this year. But we're going to see. I think we had to put it together by committee last year. Now that we've got some stability, we'll see. I think we make the playoffs.
Losing pieces. It's like you guys, like how we lost Bosa, y'all lost Hutchinson.
Yeah.
At the wrong time. Like it's certain players on certain teams that you can't really afford to lose because you can't replace that production.
Right. And even some of our DBs, we lost them for periods at a time. And our DBs have been historically not great. We've had a few shining moments here and there. I think Branch is good, but he's kind of a head case. He's kind of a penalty magnet. I think Terrion Arnold is a fraud. He's barbecue chicken waiting to happen. He was getting turned around every which way. And you can tell because last year they would, on third down, almost every play, and I say almost every play, I don't have any math on it, but almost every play on third down, those quarterbacks were looking for whoever Arnold was on. And they were either trying to get the penalty or knowing they could get the first down. And I think if we saw the Ravens game, that happened too. Because they had 2 or 3 big plays that went his way. They had a penalty that went his way that brought them into the red zone when I think they were out of it. So obviously this is his second year and he came from, a big school, but I don't know. I don't know what he's got to do, but if he's going to be our starting DB, he's going to have to help us out a lot more than he is, or else we're going to be in trouble, especially when we play like a Minnesota with Justin Jefferson, or if that's the case and Addison is back, third down, just throw it over that way.
Just throw it over there.
Yeah, and hope. And honestly, you're almost playing for the flag. You know, if we got him stopped at the 40 and they throw it to him and he gets a flag at the 20, now they're in the red zone on third down. And now it's a brand new set of downs.
And what's his name? Say it again.
Terrion Arnold.
Terrion Arnold. Sounds like Bernardo Green for the 49ers.
Everybody's got one. It used to be Dexter McCleon. He was one. Shoot, we had a whole defense full of them last year.
See, we had two good corners last 2 years with Chavarius Ward and Diamador Lenore. We got a young rookie Upton Stout who's playing pretty well right now. I mean, Robert Saleh coming back has really been a difference maker on the defensive side of the football for us. But
yeah,
I don't know how that's going to look now that Bosa's out for the season.
But he used to miss a few games anyway, though, right? Or am I thinking of the wrong Bosa? I'm thinking of the Chargers.
You're thinking of both of them.
They're both like, yeah. It's a family affair.
Hey, I think some of that is karma, but, you know, that's not this type of show.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Karma. Let's hit this up. Who's this game more important for this weekend?
The media.
Yeah,
I think that the media is you know, going to need to change the underwear after talking about this all week. I think the Ravens need to win because 1-3 with Lamar is going to have people losing their minds. I think the Chiefs have so much equity built up, they can have a shaky start.
I'm going to go a little bit opposite. Just because of the numbers game, there's no real scary team in the North that I think the Ravens could bounce back and win the division. If we were just talking, look, to your point, the equity and all that, I can't argue. Kansas City, it's whatever. But they go 1-3 and the Chargers get to 4-0. They got no shot to win the division.
Right.
I think people need to see it to believe it. And that's why I think the equity comes in. I think it could be clear as day. And they'd be like, let's just see, you know, it's Pat Mahomes. And let's see how it goes. And it's going to have to be the end of the season. And they're going to have to be, 9-7 and needing 10-7 to get in or 9-8 to get out. And then we'll see, you know, if people are like, wait a minute, are the Chiefs not going to wait a minute? You know, but I think with Lamar, because he hasn't won the big one yet, and he's literally really good at everything else, any type of thing like a bad record is going to have them scrambling. Plus, with the way that they lose those games, that Harbaugh hot seat situation is going to come up too. So to start 1-3 is going to be a lot of pressure where Andy Reid, ain't nobody worried about him.
And he used to be the one to choke in the big games.
Exactly.
That was his rep for decades.
Yep.
I don't disagree with you, but I just think the division that Kansas City in is a lot more formidable.
Yeah, it's just I think especially when you look at the emergence of the Chargers right now and the way they're playing. I mean, when you look at the AFC North, I mean, who are you really concerned about if the Ravens lose this game? When you really look at the AFC North, you know what I mean? I mean, we saw the Browns. You know, they have a formidable defense, but who are they on offense? Is Joe Flacco going to be the difference maker? I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, you know, the Steelers, we don't believe the Steelers. You know, the Bengals are banged up. They don't have the quarterback. So, I mean, I guess it's more of a addition by subtraction, as in subtracting the AFC North out of the equation, because it just seems like the Ravens won't be losing any ground at all. You know, they don't win this game.
They might not, but when you see Ravens, you think Lamar. When you see Chiefs, you think more than one person. You know, Pat's the head of that, but you think washed up Kelsey, you think Andy Reid, you think whatever receivers they brought in for this year. You wonder if they're going to try to work a deal out with the Dolphins to get Tyreek back. You think about Chris Jones, and you think about multiple people because you've seen it happen before. And you had.
Well, I think about multiple with Baltimore. I think about Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
The one person I had a lot of respect for, just because there was a debate at one time if it's Fred Warner or who's the linebacker for Baltimore?
Roquan Smith.
Roquan Smith. Who's better now? Roquan, and that defense looks really bad. But I respect Harbaugh as a coach. They got some guys over there, but obviously, to your point, not like the Chiefs, who's won it 3 times. So there's that.
I think it all comes down to the equity of it. I think because of the struggles of the Ravens, specifically late, a 1-3 start is going to have people losing their minds, where a 1-3 start for the Chiefs are going to get people to be like, well, hold on, let's just see what happens. Or I believe that somebody can turn this around. Whereas the Ravens, they're going to say, can they turn this around?
Right. And to your point, the Chiefs also have people coming back.
You got Rasheed Rice.
Rasheed Rice, yep.
And Xavier Worthy.
Xavier Worthy will be back. And then, and to your point, also, I mean, I guess there's just the narrative around the Ravens, and I guess they find a way to lose games.
Yep.
And they've been doing that in the playoffs, consistently lately. So I guess, when you look at it, there's a more of a big picture. From a big picture aspect, I definitely agree that, I mean, people will start looking at that, and the Lamar discussions, he'll be on all the A blocks, what I mean, about coming up short, what I mean. But I guess when I speak on it, I guess I'm speaking more on a technical football aspect of it. It's just like, they shouldn't have any issues, but I mean, it's just, hey, they might find a way to lose to Pittsburgh, you know what I mean, or the Browns.
I can agree with that. I think the talking point material is going to be more centered around Ravens winning, but if you're looking at team structure, the Chiefs probably have more trouble to worry about. And that's usually how some of these, turning tides happen. I think that Lamar takes a lot of heat for some Harbaugh issues. So I think that, Derrick Henry fumbling, they're going to focus on the chemistry and, seeing that maybe there's some issues back and forth. I think they're going to search for reasons to support narratives for the Ravens, but I think overall, because of the things that you all talked about, I think they're in better shape to come out okay, regardless of what this score looks like. Now, if they get blown out, that's going to be something else. But if they, lose by some fluky play or some, phantom pass interference, with 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter, that magically puts Butker in field goal position. Not that that's ever happened before. But, if one of those things happens, then I think that's going to be more of a Harbaugh issue.
Butker hasn't been as dependable lately either. He's missed some kicks.
Yeah.
What team do y'all have contending that you didn't see at the beginning of the year being as good?
The Colts.
So let me ask you this. So because I talked about this on the show last week. Daniel Jones definitely is being in that new system is actually, I don't know if it says more about him or it says more about the Giants. But are we anointing them a little too soon? Do we need to wait and see a little bit with the Colts? Is it like, you know what I mean?
The answer is truly yes, but also it's one of those things where we don't know how long it's going to last. So we want to make sure that we, ride the wave because it may be going really quickly.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, because you could say the Chargers are kind of a surprise, but I can look at the Chargers and legitimately say they can make a run in the playoffs. But it's like with the Colts, they're such a surprise that it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I guess we're in week 3. And of course, Rob is going to chime in and say, not the Cowboys, Hey, look, hey, the unbeaten crew, man, check this out. All the shots being thrown at the Cowboys. I got it. You know what I mean? Y'all go ahead. Keep them coming, man. It's cool.
He stole mine. I had the Chargers. I thought they'd be better, but I feel like they're going to run away with the AFC West. I know it's still early, but I trust Harbaugh. I've been a fan under his team before, and I think the Chargers are for real this year.
I think they have the ability to, but it's going to have to be a show and prove type of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, but CP, sometimes the goal is to be early to the party so you can say, I told you.
Fair point. But I think if it's a Chiefs party, then it's okay to wait it out and see.
You mean you don't have to wait on the Chiefs because they've already done it.
You making a lot of bold predictions 3 weeks in.
Yeah. I guess
That's
we
the
all
point.
are, really.
Well, except for
These
me.
are all
I mean,
bold predictions.
I'm not predicting the Colts. I'm to your point, I have a weight, more of a weight attitude when it comes toward the Colts.
Mhm.
What has Jim Harbaugh done the last decade?
Jim,
made a champion.
he's a champion.
Well, I know you're happy he won in Michigan. I wish he'd have won in San Francisco.
Sorry.
When I say contending, I see what he do when he came to San Francisco. First 3 years, Super Bowl appearance, 3 NFC championships.
Yeah.
Leaves, goes to Michigan, makes him perennial power, wins the national championship. He won at San Diego and Stanford. Started beating USC when he was at Stanford.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's too early to say that the Chargers are going to win at a high level. And this is the first time he's had a quarterback on this level.
I like Herbert. I think he's pretty good, to be honest. But I think that it's okay that you're early to the party there. But I think that it's going to have to be one of those things where you let the I told you so people get the I told you so. When you have a division like that where it hasn't happened, it literally has to be proven. Similar to the Lions. I mean, that was the Packers division for how long? And then, you had your occasional Minnesota wins, and nobody believed even when it was starting to happen. I mean, we've come out hot before. Remember when Jim Schwartz was there, we came out 5-0, and then we had the aggressive handshake with Harbaugh in that 49ers game. And then for the rest of the season, we went 6-5 and snuck into the playoffs, and Calvin Johnson had about 300 yards, and the other 9 guys on the field didn't do anything, and we lost to the Saints. So it sometimes you have to show and prove for it to really be that tide turning. Now, some divisions, it's wide open. So, like if you have a Colts team who's also in the same division as the Jags and the Texans, it's like, oh, maybe they will turn it around and win something. And you can see a legit clear path, just like we can kind of see a path for the Eagles, even though they're starting to show some cracks. You still don't see them being able to be taken down. Just same thing with the South. It's not a surprise that Baker is playing as well, but also they might have 6 easy wins, with the Panthers, with the Falcons, and the Saints. So I think it's just one of those things where it looks like it's going to happen, but when you have somebody with the crown, what is it? To beat a man, you got to beat the man. So it looks like they're going to beat him. You just need to see it happen.
Watch out for the Raiders.
I don't see it. I think this might be it for Geno.
And Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Do they need to give the ball to Genty more, or is he just not really living up to the hype?
I think this is a big welcome to the league moment. I think Genty might be good next year, or maybe the back half of this year. But at the beginning of how it's going, you don't have to necessarily stack the box with 8 people to get him.
Yeah.
He's got some. I honestly don't know who are the linemen for the Raiders right now, but for a young running back to come in there, with the hype like that, he's going to be doing a lot of dancing back there.
Do you think he's better with like a Detroit or like a Philly type offensive line? Do you think that's what the issue is, or do you think it's more of his skill set?
I think that an offensive line would always help a running back, just in general. But I think that Geno's got to be sharp so that they're not being. It's like guessing the play in Tecmo Bowl. If you know it's going to him, he's toast. And if Geno is inconsistent or Geno can't help you get the ball down the field, then you know when it's coming. Like if there's no reason to be worried about the run, then or if there's no reason to be worried about the pass, rather, then why do you have to be concerned about the run?
Are Gibbs and Montgomery the best 1-2 punch at running back that you've seen in the last 15 years?
Maybe, and that might only be because a lot of teams weren't doing 1-2 punches. They might have just been able to get away with one. I think 1-2 punches are kind of a thing of the past.
Well, you got a lot of change of pace backs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that seemed like that might have been the intention when you all got both of them. It seemed like Montgomery's supposed to be more of your power guy and Gibbs the speed guy. But Gibbs, I mean, they're both equally formidable in both spaces.
Yeah, because Gibbs was having trouble, kind of busting through there, and Montgomery didn't. But then Gibbs is so shifty, and he's got some power too. So it's kind of like when you see him you almost think that it's going to be finesse, and he's able to hit you in the mouth a little bit, or he's able to block somebody coming after Jared. So I think they've got complementary skill sets, but they also have some differences that make them special. It's hard to think about, and see, they're not even the first iteration of that, because right before them we had Jamal Williams and who else do we have? Who was that other running back? Well, we had a two-headed monster right before that, and that helped, and we got rid of both of them and brought in Montgomery and then drafted Gibbs. So they weren't even the first iteration of that, but they're definitely perfecting what it looks like in this day and age. And so I think that's exciting to see, but I think that's a rare thing. I think a lot of teams would struggle if they tried to go find something like that. It's hard enough to find one good running back in this pass-heavy version of the NFL now.
Absolutely.
So the fact that we have two is what makes us special.
I liked last year having Christian McCaffrey and Jordan Mason, but I guess Kyle didn't like it.
But see, it never seemed like a 1-2 punch. It seemed like this guy is going to come in and do some good things.
Well, that's to your point. That's because McCaffrey was hurt a lot of last year.
Yeah, so it seems like Mason was the backup who
the only ones I can think of, I remember like Darren Sproles and LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some more.
Philly has had some tandems.
Deuce Staley and somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Brian Westbrook.
Yeah.
Was that him? Yeah.
Were they there together?
LaShawn McCoy wasn't LaShawn McCoy with somebody?
I think he was with Deuce Staley. I think he was like Deuce Staley rookie. I think
they've always thrived in the change of pace type system. But yeah, one of my favorite 1-2 punches goes all the way back. I mean, y'all are old just like me, man. So y'all remember Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What was Buddy's name from USC? Lindell White.
Marcus Allen?
No, who did Lindell White play for? Was that
Reggie Bush?
Reggie.
Was that him? Yeah, but I was talking about in the league. Was that the Titans? So would that have been CJ2K?
Who was with Marshawn?
He's nuts when he jumped in the end zone.
Oh man.
Shoot, I don't know if he had a backup.
I can't even remember. That's a testament of how good he was.
No, it's just like I looked up some of them, and one of them said Adrian Peterson and somebody else. I was like, I just remember Adrian Peterson.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, that was main guy and a backup. That was blank man, the other guy. Marshawn back on.
Okay, let's do another one, man. Before we get up out of here, a team that sucks that you thought would be good.
Is that Houston?
Yeah, that's one.
Houston, definitely.
It's gonna be I can't say the Bengals because I didn't think they were gonna be good. But
Well,
they don't even have a chance now.
Yeah, I would say without their quarter. I mean, I don't know. Are we counting like injuries factoring into the teams being bad, or they just?
I don't really factor that in, but hey, you come up with your own criteria.
Who else? The Jets weren't going to be good anyway.
Yeah, I didn't. Definitely, I didn't think Dallas was going to be good with Michael Parsons. Once he got traded, I was just like, man, we're just going to go ahead and see if we can get a low draft pick, a high draft pick. But trying to think.
Hell, Baltimore.
Do they suck though?
They don't suck.
They don't suck. Well, let's just go with what I have on the screen. Teams that are underachieving.
Okay, Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore. The Chiefs.
That's still Houston.
The Chiefs. You got to throw the Chiefs in there.
Falcons.
Yo, how did they get blanked like that, man? By the Panthers. That was crazy.
Was wild. I didn't see that coming.
That might have been probably the most bizarre outcome of this week. Who else is underachieving? I'm running through the divisions in my head. Are the Steelers not? Are they about how you expected them to be with Aaron Rodgers?
I expect them to be somewhere between 9-8 and 10-7, and to get into the playoffs and get smacked in the first round.
Yep,
that's what they do every year.
So they're right on pace, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Absolutely, I concur.
Now, if they'd have got Aaron Rodgers 6 years ago, something different.
No, absolutely.
Team that we thought was going to be good is disappointing.
That Houston, man, what do you think's going on there?
I don't know, but I think DeMeco Ryans is in trouble.
He is.
Well, before he's in trouble, it's got to be Bobby Slowick, right?
Well,
maybe, but also
they seem to have some culture issues going on.
Yeah.
Well, they released C.J. Gardner-Johnson out of nowhere.
I mean, that ain't. If you know his history, then you know that he's probably contributing highly to the culture.
That's not out of nowhere. In fact, he probably saw them 0-3 and was like, "Oh, I got to get the hell up out of here."
He probably went up to coach's office like,
"Hey, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. You can let me go, or I can just go break something."
Yeah. He's like the poster boy of intrusive thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Like because it was 6 teams he's been on. If you count 2 runs with Philly,
yep,
and Philly let him go twice.
He ain't do nothing with us. He came in there, talked a bunch of junk, got hurt, came back for the end, got toasted at the end, and was like, "Screw y'all, I'm going back to Philly," and then won and tried to do a little Kobe how's my ass face type of thing, but yeah.
No, that's
I think that's a him issue.
Absolutely.
Don't they want doesn't the world want the Patriots to be good this year and they're still mid?
I like that one, Buzzy.
I didn't think they were going to be good.
I didn't think they was going to be ass.
Yeah, they're bad. They're very bad.
I thought they would be like Steeler-ish.
We'd hope so, but yeah, between that, because what's that? McDaniel?
Yeah, I hope he gets fired, comes back.
He's in trouble. Tua's in trouble.
You want him to come back to You
He
said
was
you want to
good.
come to San
It
Francisco?
was his idea to put Debo in the backfield.
Yeah,
Mm.
they're gonna
It's
have
very
to,
innovative. Huh?
they're gonna have to trade Tyreek back to Kansas City.
Yeah, no point in paying a wide receiver that much money if you're just gonna get your ass stomped in like that every week.
Yeah.
Too late.
They need to fire that GM who chose Tua over Justin Herbert.
Yeah, that was bad.
And then what did y'all think about Tua's comments before they faced off?
Run him back to me.
Well, he was talking about not towards Justin Herbert, but it was before they faced off with the Bills. But he was talking about Josh Allen, and he was just basically talking about the things that Josh Allen can do that he can't do. Do y'all think that was kind of like a bad choice of psychology, or you know what I mean? I mean, there's such you can big up your opponent, but if when you start talking about the other quarterback is better than you and your team is currently trash.
It was a bad case of self-awareness, bad timing for self-awareness.
Bad time. I like that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, all true, but if my starting quarterback is saying that, then we got to get rid of him.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like he's reached his ceiling. I don't know if it's the concussions or what's happening.
The hip.
He was damaged goods once he was damaged goods at Alabama.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So by the time he got here, the concussions were almost new because that hip really jacked him up. I think the hip probably had long-lasting effects as a quarterback, and then the concussions are really, screwing him.
Yeah, that Miami's a good one. Like I said, we didn't expect much from them, but we didn't think they were just going to be flat out awful.
Yeah. That's when it's time to blow things up.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
1,000%.
Absolutely.
I mean, Mike McDaniel got to go.
Mm-hmm.
Tua definitely has to go. And I don't think Tua, I don't know. Because we've seen so many quarterbacks resurrect their careers at another stop.
Mm-hmm.
I think
like Baker Mayfield or like Sam Darnold, Geno Smith.
Baker was never really set up for success.
Yeah.
He still had a decent stint in Cleveland. Won them a playoff game.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? But it was that. I mean, that's really my point. It's like you had a guy who came in and gave you more success than you've really seen in a while, and you pretty much threw him in the Johnny Manziel pot, of obscurity.
Right.
But I think I gained a new respect for him in that Rams game when he got off the plane and went into the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, that's when you knew he was built a little different, differently than what he was portrayed, by the Cleveland media, at least.
Yeah, that's facts.
It's not as if, Cleveland is a great decision-making franchise or anything.
Yeah, if Miami loses to the Jets, might be a wrap.
Is it in New York or in Miami?
I'm not sure.
They play one apiece. Are they playing this weekend?
I'm not sure it will matter.
That's a good point.
Oh, man. I was gonna say if it's in New York, I don't know if they're gonna win that one anyway.
He said it's the Monday night game.
Oh, it's two of them. It's
the double header.
Yeah, that's at 7, and then I think somebody we don't want to see.
Miami.
Yeah, all right. If they lose that, you got to fire everybody.
Yeah,
and trade Tariq.
Yeah,
you can't trade Tariq to the Chiefs when they getting Rice and Xavier Worthy back, can you?
Where else you gonna trade him? Don't nobody else want him.
How old is he now?
Don't know, but I think the Chiefs are the only ones that may be able to deal with all the extracurricular stuff. He's going to want to win again.
He's 31.
Yeah. Chiefs, or else he's going to go to somebody. Chiefs are probably the only contender that'll take him. Otherwise, he's going to end up someplace else that's not winning.
Are we talking about like in the middle of this season or just in general?
The Raiders.
No,
That makes
Leslie,
sense.
he's not going to the Raiders.
Going to
That
the
makes
Raiders?
sense, and won't win a thing there,
Let's say, would
and,
that,
and probably get in trouble because it's in Vegas.
who is the Raiders' number one receiver? Their tight end, Bowers.
Probably Bowers.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, they got like what? Jacoby Myers.
Mm-hmm.
We'll close. What team? Somebody on your team that you're surprised about
Surprise in a good way or a bad way?
in a good way.
In a good way.
Tesla. We got that young receiver, Tesla, who keeps
For you
making these
guys?
highlight catches. Mm-hmm. That, and I think our offensive line is going to be better. And we got a few people trying to step up on defense, but I'd say Tesla is my oh shoot, I didn't see that coming guy.
For us, I would say Javonte Williams. He seems
he's balling.
Yeah. He seems he with CD out, he's the best offensive player right now on the team. I mean, George Pickens, you know what I mean? He's there, of course, but I mean, he's really resurrected the run game. And I like his style. He's kind of like that Montgomery and Gibbs kind of mold, you know what I mean, with the power and speed. So yeah, he would be mine.
I got probably three now. You know, we're playing so many young players. I like our rookie Michael Williams from Georgia. He's played very well. Offensively, of course, Slick Rick, White Boy Rick, Ricky Pearsall. And I like D. Winter, our replacement for Dre Greenlaw at the linebacker.
He's not bad.
Huh?
He's not bad.
Yeah. So those three have played well. Probably a big part of us being 3-0. Especially offensively with no Kittle, no Jawan Jennings, no Brandon Ayuk. I'm like, damn, who are they game planning that they're letting Ricky Pearsall get off like that?
I have no idea. Maybe Ayuk or probably Jennings. But
Jennings didn't play. He didn't play last week either.
well, that's why they let Pearsall get off.
But that's what I'm saying. Shouldn't they be game planning against Pearsall?
Shouldn't they? Yeah. However,
so
I mean, he's on my fantasy team, so yeah, he's putting in work.
he said no problems with that.
I have no problems with what do you call him? Slick white boy Rick.
Slick Rick. I got that from Steve Smith because a lot of the 49ers fans didn't like him. You know, things can get a little racial. People don't like picking white skill players in the first round.
Yeah.
But I trust Steve Smith's evaluation of wide receivers. And he gave them all them nicknames and showed them running all them routes. So I was like, okay, I'm on board. Steve Smith. Because Steve Smith, I don't know if you guys remember, famously predicted Cooper Kupp would be the best receiver in that draft.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Hey, look, CP, don't let Keith fool you, man. He's one of those skeptics about the quote unquote vanilla skills players, as he said on the show last week.
Oh yeah, I heard him last week talking about the vanilla. He don't trust him.
I'm like, are you serious? A 49ers fan? All of your skills players are vanilla skills play. Christian McCaffrey, you got Kittles, you know. Now you got Slick Rick.
Mm-hmm. He just mad in theory, but in application, he's like, "Hey, bang bang."
If it produces wins, right? Just win.
Yep.
I think this is McCaffrey last year. I know you said I keep throwing dirt on people's grave, like I tried to get rid of Jerry Jones last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you killed Jerry Jones last week. You predicted his death. You're like that psychic woman who was like predicted the Diddy trial. Like you're just predicting deaths.
Now, I think it would be smart of McCaffrey to hang it up. He seems like he'd hang it up early and focus on family and like, hey, I've done enough, and kind of go out before he loses it. You know, die a hero before he sees himself become the villain.
Well, That's a good topic to end this on. Is it better to go out with something left in the tank or to empty the tank?
Ask Peyton Manning.
That's
Two-time,
Muhammad Ali.
two-time champion.
He won with an empty tank,
Yeah,
but he didn't win. He was on the team.
it counts.
It counts. It does.
And he was in front. It counts.
Well, you didn't answer the question though.
Is it better? I think it's circumstantial. It depends on who you are and what you need.
I ain't mad at that.
Depends
I
on
think
the
if you're a quarterback, yeah. Like if for some reason the Cowboys put something together, and on Dak's last year, whoever the defensive player is gets like a strip sack and fumble and wins the game, and Dak gets to go out as a champion, that's going to be better for him versus the last time he was productive was, last year.
I like the answer, but it's like it's not black and white enough for me, CP.
Oh, you just want to answer?
Yes.
Is it better to?
He gave you the Max Kellerman answer.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not on the show. That's why I'm just a guest. Y'all don't want me to be analyzing these answers. You just want yes or no. Is he good or is he bad? I think that it's better to. I'm gonna go with Die a Hero. I think it's a lot easier to let people live in the what if than to laugh at you when it's too late and to say you're washed. He took him to the AFC Championship, didn't he?
Sure did.
Yep.
So hey, somebody remembers Buzzy, but I get the gist of what you're saying. I don't know. All of us are just talking the game. We didn't have the talent to play it at the highest levels.
I mean,
I'd like to think if I did, I would have rode it till the wheels fell off.
yeah, but also you're on the same team with most of your players quit early. You had a bunch of players quit early, to preserve something, or they were done with the game.
We had a first round pick, a good linebacker retire after his rookie year.
Yeah, and I've had two of the best people at their position leave while they still had juice in the tank versus try to work on trades and get to a winner.
Okay,
and also,
they weren't playing for this version of the Lions.
No, but I'm saying they got out while the getting was good, and the getting wasn't even that good because you got
I feel like if I remember, they kind of forced Barry up out of there. Like he wanted to actually move on.
He wanted to move on. Well, no, what happened was he was disagreeing with a lot of the direction of the coaching.
Right.
And he wanted some coaching changes. He didn't want to go anyplace else. So then when they were like, this is what it is, he was like, all right, I'm out. They were trying to force him to stay. And he was like, I don't need this. I'm good. Now, I think with Calvin, I think he was letting people know quietly, like, hey, I'm starting out. I ain't going to be here a lot longer. And I think both of those, as fans and people who don't do this and just think for athletes, we thought that they would either try to go someplace else or, try to get something in. Stafford's the only one who got up and got out and
Right.
was like, I'm going to go do this someplace else. But for Barry and Calvin, they were like, yeah, y'all have ruined the love of the game for me at this point. I'm out. And so they had short careers and got out. And I think, I just think there's more. You can always talk about the what if, but once you see the too late, that kind of taints a lot of things.
It was like my burner account asked a question.
All right, Kevin Durant.
Before we go, so we have a new tradition here. Athlete of the week. Last week it was Bud. It was Bud Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
So this week, before I throw my person in, who do y'all think what individual performance do y'all think was the most impressive and worthy of athlete of the week?
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams. I walked right into that one. Well played. Well played.
I mean, he had 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. I wasn't even really tripping over it.
It's actually a good choice. Yeah.
I mean, he had no pressure though because there was no linebacker. But
there was no pass rush.
Yeah.
There was plenty of wide open receivers to throw it to.
He had his Make-A-Wish game.
He
Yeah.
had his Make-A-Wish game.
And so I'm gonna make that wish for him too. I'm gonna say Caleb Williams.
Caleb, what do you think, Keith?
I like Caleb a lot for this week. And
Caleb
who knows how
Williams.
many weeks he'll have the opportunity to win.
Mhm.
It's true. That's true.
My defensive battle, I'll just go with my team. I like Fred Warner.
Fred Warner.
Mm-hmm.
What did he do? Anything specific that you
Batted
wanted?
down some ball. I mean, just he had a bunch of tackles. That's not a bad one, Buzzy. Angel Wilson.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be football.
That's true.
It wasn't
good
last
answer.
week.
I guess mine. I think I mentioned it to you a little earlier when we spoke, Keith. Man named the guy Isaiah Rodgers that plays for the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh yeah, he had a bunch of. Didn't he have a pick six?
He was like a one-man show
Mm-hmm.
for whatever fantasy football team had the Vikings defense this week. He had a 85-yard pick six, and he also had a forced fumble in return for I think 65 yards, and he also forced another fumble.
Jeez,
He's the first one in his first individual player in history to do that. So he made. Nobody knew. I mean, I'm not going to say nobody, but he wasn't exactly a household name before, Sunday, before accomplishing that. But that's my guy. I like the Asia Wilson choice though.
yeah,
I like all.
absolutely.
I like all the choices. Caleb is definitely a good one too. But, we'll put it to a vote.
Yeah, we'll put it to a vote.
Yeah, we'll put
I'll
it to a
poll
vote.
it.
Yeah, put a poll up, and then we'll see by the end of tomorrow. We'll post something, whoever it is.
Hey, thanks for coming on, CP.
Hey,
Yeah, man, I love it.
You're a reoccurring guest here, man. That door is always open for you, man. You know what the key is.
As long as the Lions win, I'll be available.
My man disappeared for a whole year after that playoff loss.
Hey, man, that hurt, man. I was hurt.
That was a good game.
It was.
I got to treat y'all fair weather. So yeah, if the Lions lose, don't be calling me, man.
And I feel you.
Well, we got to come on here whether our team get their ass beat or not.
Yeah, that's what y'all get. Y'all are gracious hosts. What Cat Williams said, you have an unhealthy allegiance to losers.
To losers.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Man.
Oh, wow.
Buzzy, we got to get you up here one of these days.
We gotta get
thanks
you up
for,
here,
thanks
Buzzy.
for supporting, man.
We appreciate the support, man. You're unbeaten.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Buzz.
Take us out of here, Bernie. Another week in the books. We back at 9:00 next week.
9:00 next week. Lock in. Check us out Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, right here at 9. Also, man, look, please like and subscribe to our channel. Go to IG, like our page. Go to Facebook. We have a Facebook page. Go and like and subscribe to our page too. We definitely appreciate you. You're all unbeaten.
We out.
Salute.